Yeah, my name is Andy Ommen. I'm 40 years old. I have a wife and three daughters. My faith journey, I became a Christian when I was 15. Um, so just sophomore in high school. Um, I guess I've been a Christian then for 25 years. God's been faithful through all that to kind of keep me in His grace, and even times when I've struggled a bit and walked away in certain ways. I think that's one of the things that's kind of a hallmark of my story, and probably everyone's story, is that God is faithful even when we're not. So this would be my second Boston Marathon. The thing about Boston is, for runners, it's kind of a benchmark race. You have to qualify for it, so you have to be able to not just complete a marathon, but you have to complete it relatively fast. Not world class, of course, but for my age group, it's 3 hours and 10 minutes. So that means right around just under 7 minutes per mile for that distance. Anyways, since I've done it once, I kind of got the needing to have that experience piece out of the way. It's a really fun race. There's like 30,000 runners, and there's about 1 million people lining the course, through Boston. And so, you don't get that experience in most races, right? It's pretty unique in that way. So for me, my biggest personal challenge is kind of a season of life where I was addicted to alcohol, and just as a Christian, that doesn't make sense. I can't really compute that, but I was living sort of a double life in that way for a time, and overcoming that looked a lot like recognizing what I was doing with my life, with my family, with my career, with my faith. All these things were being degraded by this addiction. Obvious when you're in that, it's obvious that you should not be doing that and that you need to recover from that. But it's hard to find the will to do that. The thing about addiction is, you're addicted to the substance, but you're also addicted to the escape from life that it brings, and that's really powerful, right? Because life can be hard, and even when it's not, it's just so tempting to take a break, and I guess that's kind of one of the things that addiction offers. Overcoming that has looked like some counseling and some help. Obviously relying on my faith to bring me through, and that's one of the things that I learned through that, is that my faith isn't about me. God is faithful, and He will deliver you from sin, and He will stick with you through sin, seasons of sin, and brokenness in your life. My perspective of life, I guess, is kind of where I would go back to, that by the light of the gospel, I see the world, and that's what shapes who I am and what I do. So my advice would be for people to cease striving and know God, and to believe the gospel, because the truth of that and seeing life through the light of the gospel allows you to see the world as it is, and to not be discouraged by that. Because if you see the world as it is without the light of the gospel, it's discouraging, it's dark, there's brokenness everywhere. But when you have the hope that, God's not satisfied with this isn't how it's meant to be, and it's going to be undone, that's powerful. And I guess, one piece of advice I would give that I've learned from running is everybody's capable of doing something great, right? I ran a 100-mile race, and I think a lot of people looked at that, and the thing that I kept hearing over and over was, I could never do that. And I wanted to agree with them. Yeah, you couldn't, but there's something in your life that you love to do that you could be great at. Go find that and put in the work to go be great at that. And again, it comes back to the chief end of man is to glorify God by enjoying Him forever. And that's where you're going to be satisfied. That's where God's going to be satisfied with you, is when you find something to do that's great and you go do it.